I think it's too big of a problem. I don't think it'll ever be able to be stopped. How obvious are fake IDs to you? Pretty obvious. I would say it is one of the larger issues that we deal with, but we deal with anything and everything you could possibly think of. Drugs are also an issue. We've got to cover campus-wide, and that's to include Heritage Grove and any property that is owned or controlled by the university itself. So it just kind of depends on the night. A lot of times, you know, certain nights are certain popular bar nights, so therefore there's going to be more individuals out at that particular time. So I'd say it kind of depends on the night. Like Thursday nights is Potbellies. When we come across a fraudulent ID or counterfeit driver's license, that's a felony charge. That's a very serious charge. You will go to jail for it. If like a date of birth has been changed on a driver's license, that's a different charge versus the actual driver's license being a counterfeit. If the date of birth is changed, a lot of times people used to scratch them off and change them or try to do it on a computer or whatnot. That's a misdemeanor charge.
Best if laminated. If not, it can be altered. Check this one closely.
You've heard of the public intoxication. What that depends on is, or disorderly conduct, I guess I would say. Disorderly conduct, somebody else has to be a victim. Meaning, if somebody's yelling out derogatory comments and things like that, there has to be a victim, meaning that other individual was, it offended them, what this individual was saying. Then yes, you can be arrested for disorderly conduct. It happens very often, more often than what people think.
Yeah, I would say we catch about 5 to 10 kids a week trying to use fake IDs and whatnot.
I think they do a horrible job, in my personal opinion. The problem is that all the bars that we have around here, they use, you know, college-age kids and that are working the doors. Well, are you going to let your buddy in that comes in and you know for a fact he's underage? Well, sure, because all you're going to do is tell him that, well, yeah, I checked his ID, and the ID you showed me looked like him and showed that he was over 21. So I think they do a horrible job. And as far as bars go, it's all about, it's a money-making business.
Beer is one of the most important products you sell because 2 out of 3 families use beer as a beverage. 2 out of 3. The U.S. drinks 1.5 billion cases a year.
No, some are actually really good. Some even scan, but you can just tell certain logos and certain things just doesn't reflect right. But some do scan. Some are not the people, but you know.
I've seen some good ones, but what people don't understand is you can actually, you know, when you order them online, the colors are wrong, the font's wrong, the pictures are blurry, and on a real driver's license, the pictures are not blurry at all. One of the other things is that you can order them to where when you swipe them at a bar, it comes up with the information that's on the driver's license. But the problem is when we actually run the driver's license through the driver's license system, it comes up as no record found. Or it comes up to some, I have had ones that I've run and they've come up to a legitimate person, but I've had it to where it was a white female and the license came back to an 80-year-old white male. Somebody's just had too much to drink, and they're not necessarily being belligerent, they've just had too much to drink. If they're not able to answer simple questions, they will actually be placed under protective custody of a Marchman Act. What happens there, that's not to say that they're in trouble, because they're not. What happens is we'll call emergency medical services, the ambulance will come, they'll evaluate, and they'll actually take them to the hospital. That way they can give them fluids, because they're going to be severely dehydrated, and get them the care that they need so that they don't harm themselves. A lot of times people get away from mom and dad for the first time and, you know, just go out and do anything that they want to do, and they're not thinking about the choices, and the repercussions can be pretty wild, so to speak. I mean, I know last year, right about this time, we had a student here named Brooks Rogers, and he was being the DD for his friends that night, and another student made a pretty poor choice and hit Brooks Rogers head on, and he did not survive the accident. So again, it's all about smart choices. Was he making a smart choice? Absolutely. He didn't do anything wrong. He was trying to get his friends home safely, but you got to be careful.